Paper straws. They are probably one of the most annoying things we have come up with. And guess what? You're right for being upset. They're not. They were just a diversion. Same with the whole plastic bag thing. Um, there was a thing going around a while ago that we eat a credit card's worth of plastic a week. We don't. Studies have proven that we actually don't. But the rest is actually it's worse. It's much worse. So Malcolm, you want to talk about this before I put up the slideshows?
Perfect. Here's your punch you in the soul lead in to the slideshow. You're about to see the receipts. Real numbers, real damage, real ignorance. We're not talking about plastic in the ocean. That ship sailed. This is plastic in your lungs, your liver, your blood. These slides aren't here to scare you. They're here to confront you, because microplastics don't care if you believe in them. They're already inside you.
And on that, check out the content.
All right, today we're diving headfirst into a uniquely human mess, a story that is, well, completely of our own making, microplastics. We're going to unpack the irony, the debates, and yeah, the deceptions, all wrapped up in this immortal confetti we've managed to coat our planet in.
You know, our guide through some of this beautiful chaos is a persona from our source material named Corvus, who really frames the whole thing with this perfect theatrical flair. And this quote, it just perfectly sets the stage for the absurd irony of it all.
So that brings us to our first section. Before we can even start talking about solutions, we really need to get our heads around the sheer scale of the problem. And this idea, it's a real philosophical gut punch. We're not just talking about eating or drinking plastic. No, the point is that we're fundamentally changing our own biology. I mean, microplastics have been found in our blood, our lungs, even in placentas. We are, in a very real sense, becoming infused with the very material we created.
So what exactly are we talking about here? Well, the definition itself is pretty simple. They're just tiny particles of plastic, less than 5 millimeters in size. But the key word here, the one that really matters, is fragment. See, they don't disappear, they don't biodegrade, they just break down into smaller and smaller pieces, becoming a permanent part of our world. Literally, forever confetti.
And this number, get ready for this. This is the estimated number of plastic particles found in a single liter of bottled water, according to a 2024 study. And what's even crazier is that a staggering 90% of those are even smaller nanoplastics. This makes bottled water one of the biggest, most direct sources of our exposure.
So all of this really forces a pretty tough question, which is at the heart of the debate in our source material. Is this all just some big cosmic joke? I mean, is taking action completely futile, or is it an absolutely necessary strategy for survival? And this is where we see two totally opposing viewpoints laid bare. On one side, you've got the nihilism of Corvus, who basically sees any personal action as just negotiating the terms of our surrender. But on the other side, you've got the pragmatism of another persona, Gemma, who argues, look, this isn't about hope, it's about a cold, calculated strategy to survive.
You know, Corvus's argument is kind of seductive, right? It's so simple. Why bother with these little fixes when the entire system is contaminated? His logic just shoots down every proposed solution with a cynical reality check. The problem is already everywhere. So, is he right? Is it all just pointless?
Well, here's the counter-argument. The pragmatists, Gemma and Malcolm, they frame this nihilism as a flawed intellectual shortcut. It's like saying, hey, because I'm already breathing polluted city air, there's just no point in wearing a mask during a dust storm. I mean, yeah, the tap water has plastics, but study after study shows bottled water has way more. The goal isn't purity. It's about reducing harm. It's about putting on the mask in the dust storm.
And this line of thinking, it brings us to a much more tactical approach. If we can't get to zero, if we can't achieve purity, what can we do? This is what our source material calls the damage control playbook.
Okay, so the playbook focuses on 4 really high-impact moves that you can actually make yourself. Number 1, as we've seen, is ditching bottled water for filtered tap water. Huge. 2, indoor dust is a major way we inhale this stuff. So ventilating your home and using a vacuum with a HEPA filter can make a real difference. 3, and this is a big one, never ever heat food in plastic. It just turbocharges the leaching. And 4, since synthetic clothes shed fibers like crazy, just wash them a little less and try using cold water. And this right here, this gets to the very core of that pragmatic mindset. It's not about trying to become perfectly plastic-free. Let's be real, that's an impossible goal. It's about being smart. It's about being strategic and just picking off and eliminating the biggest, dumbest, most avoidable sources of exposure in your daily life. But here's the thing, focusing only on our personal responsibility, well, that's exactly what the people who created this problem want us to do. And that brings us to the real deception at the heart of this whole issue. For decades, the corporate strategy has been all about shifting the blame. The whole idea of the litter bug, that was an invention, a campaign designed to make you feel guilty for industrial-scale pollution. The big push for reusable bags, it gave us a symbolic win while distracting from the real production problem. And recycling, oh, that's the biggest illusion of all. It was sold to us as the ultimate solution, even while internal memos admitted it was just a PR strategy, not a truly viable fix. And if this playbook sounds familiar, well, that's because it is. This isn't new. Back in the 70s, oil companies knew about climate change. In the 80s, the plastics industry knew recycling wasn't a real fix. And today, the playbook just keeps on going. They fund research that's designed to create just enough uncertainty to stall any meaningful regulation. It's a clear pattern of delay and deception. So how do we break this cycle? Well, our source material offers a really powerful historical parallel to help us understand this resistance. It's called the seatbelt test. The parallel here is absolutely uncanny. The resistance to seatbelts decades ago used the exact same logic we hear about microplastics today. You had claims of government overreach, you had fears based on total misinformation, I'll be trapped in a burning car, and just a general stubborn resistance to an inconvenient change. Sound familiar? And this whole parallel, it reveals a fundamental truth about us, about human nature. It's not always about the data or the science. So often, we are just wired to resist uncomfortable facts and inconvenient changes way more fiercely than we fight the actual problem that's threatening us. Which brings us full circle to this final, really provocative thought from Corvus. Maybe this whole debate isn't about logic at all. Maybe it's about psychology. We choose convenience, right? We buy the illusion of safety in a plastic bottle because, for a moment, it gives us peace of mind, even as that immortal confetti just keeps on falling. It's something to think about, isn't it?